Hello and welcome to David's World. Today we are back at the top of my stairs, and if you haven't seen it, I made this item here and I talked about it in a video. So why we're back up here? Because there was another stage to just making this, but to utilise space better at the top of the stairs. So what has happened? Well, we'll look at it in this way. Now, if you notice, and if you've seen that video, you'll notice there's something different about what's behind me now. So we're going to have a look, and I'm going to talk over making this item. Now, this item was specially built to utilise the space where the banister would be. The rails at the top of that would stop you from falling over. But it has no other purpose than to stop. So if that's all it has to do, then we could remove it, which is what I did. So I took out all the banister rail and its spindles, which didn't take long, and I built this unit in its place. It serves the same thing. It stops you from going over the top, but it utilises it better because we now can fit DVDs onto these shelves. So this section is to approximately the height that the banister rail went across here. Then this section goes all the way up to the ceiling. So we now wonder, why do I have this piece of wood here? Well, this piece of wood was important in the making of this unit. Actually, there was, I think, two, but I seem to have mislaid one. But I have this one. This piece of wood is a little larger than the size of a DVD. So, as you see, there's space, so it's not tight. This piece of wood is measured to the height. So when I put this together, what I did was I placed the wood against the bottom, and this was where the wood rested on to make the shelf. Then I could screw from the other side, knowing that this distance was big enough to fit a DVD. My arm's getting tight. I'm going to swap arms. So we swapped over. We made it fit. And we measured. And the top one has some more Funkos in because the gap between that and the ceiling didn't fit the measurement of this, so I left it open so additional pops could be put up there, and it's big enough for one on top of each other, so that works out fine. Plus it's harder to get up to, even though I do have some steps. These steps, I bought them from IKEA. They were quite cheap. They're quite useful around the house as well, but for climbing up to get anything off the top shelf. As we see, we now are higher and at the top level. Easier to get to them. So you might go, okay, we built a new unit, but why is it L shape? And what is this cutout bit for? Well, if you see, this, the light. If I had just put this all the way across, I would therefore at night time, when that light gets turned on, block any light getting to this part of the room. So you go, yeah, okay. We worked out how much we could come with this up big one over here before it might have an effect on light in this corner. So that's why it's set up as it is. We also, as we sit down, we also had to think about, is anyone going to climb on it? Is it sturdy enough? Well, it doesn't move because the far one is connected into the post and this one is connected into the door frame. So it isn't going to move forward and back if you knock into it. Plus with its weight, it's quite weighty now with all the DVDs on. So, was this easy? Yep, it was pretty easy. The big section, the big tall one, was done all in one go, and I just brought it up the stairs, lifted it on and put it in place. The smaller section was then built after it, so I knew the precise distance between the upright post and the bookcase. Well, we call it a bookcase because it's a DVD unit for me, but it could hold books, and how far it would go to give it a nice tight fit. Now of course, when you go around to the other side, don't want them to fall out, so tongue and groove wood across the whole lot and all the way up, given a finished solid look, so you can't take and push DVDs out the other side. With that, as you take, there's not a lot of room for me to walk around because there's a passage, so the close-up angles I can't do much about, but that's why it's set up. And as you see, because it's the same wood, it matches. These have now been in place for quite some time, and as you see, on a quite sunny day, they are a bit shaded and in a more duller place, so it doesn't fade them, but they have never been touched, they've never been moved, so therefore that's all good. So I just wanted to bring you up to date on utilising space that would be wasted anywhere else. This actually only comes into the passage by this much, and actually it isn't this much because the banister top thing actually came over here, so it's about an inch more this way into the passageway itself, which is nothing. It doesn't take up any more space. And if you see these plastic boxes, these are my new storage. I got them pretty cheap. They were £4 each, thereabouts. Yeah, I think they were £4. I got a lot of them. So all my DVDs all ready, easy access, single line, good to go, space saving ideas. Here we come. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.